Welcome to the show, everyone. I love my guest who's going to be on today. I have with me Ken Kilday. He is an executive business coach. He's the owner of Leaders Cut. You have to tell everybody back. I'm so glad you're here again. A little bit, we always do this. We have to start with a little bit about you. And yes, maybe even if you've heard him, guess what? Listening to him is fantastic. I want you to tell everybody first a little bit about yourself, but what really makes you different and stand out as a coach?
What really makes me different and stand out once people get to know me and we get a chance to work together is just how much I'm focused on the people part of the equation. And in business, I think a lot of us misunderstand that we think business is all dollars and cents and profit margins and sales, etc. And however, without the people component, you won't have the other success. So I spend a lot of time talking with clients and working with clients on culture and values, because those are the things that matter. And if you take whatever your favorite company is that was started humbly by one founder that grew into something really special and unique, you'll find out that it was the culture component that the people absolutely loved that founder, and she or he absolutely loved them back, and they created something special together. So that's what really sets them apart. What sets me apart as a coach is my prior career was financial services, and I made it a point of getting the Certified Financial Planner designation, which was the gold standard for my prior industry. And when I started my own business and began coaching leaders, I pursued and have achieved the professional certified coach from the International Coaching Federation, the gold standard in this industry. I just think it's really important that in these industries where we get to call ourselves
Whatever
coach
you want.
or any other title, that there's not necessarily any sort of credentialing behind it, required credentialing behind it. So I can just call myself a coach and not have credentials. I choose to call myself a coach and have the credentials so clients know that I did my work.
Yeah, I mean, to have that behind him makes you know that he is there to be there for you. You've learned everything. You had to go through a lot.
Yeah, the certification requires, I have 192 hours of coursework. For this designation, there's other stuff too. But for this particular designation, it was 192 hours of coursework, 500 coaching hours, like real live.
That's amazing.
Coaching hours that I had to document. And then I had to record 3 of my calls with my clients, like real clients that agreed to be coached on a recording, and then a certified master coach listened to those and looks for the criteria. Am I following the criteria from the International Coaching Federation?
You also have an academy that you have created.
And I had to sit for a test as well, because what would these credentials be if they didn't torture us with,
Yeah, you got to throw in the test as well.
That's timed, yeah, of course. So yeah, I do have the academy. It's here's my belief system. I think that there's a lot of material out there, and I want to show you all my cards first. I want to show you all the material and what you have access to, and make that really available. And then in your journey, what I think will happen for you is you'll either figure out that yes, I can certainly just do this on myself. I just need a little bit of extra information, or hey, I really like a partner in growing my business further than it's ever grown. So we created the book, the ebook, the 6 habits of the
6 silver bullets.
6 silver bullets you need to grow your business fast.
I've read it.
I'm stuck in Dr. Covey's 7 habits. So anyway, the 6 silver bullets. And from that, the academy, which then breaks down those 6 into 21 different modules. So a little bit more in-depth for clients and future clients to get in there and get the help they need.
Now, first of all, you got to go up onto the website, which is makingthecut.biz. And when you go up there, you're going to see there's several different, like on the headers, where that you have a lot that you offer for everybody.
Sure.
And it's all free to you, except the academy.
Yeah.
The academy, you're going to see that there is a cost there, but we let everyone call in here through me. You get it for free. So now everything is free that you get when you call me. And I have to tell you what, first of all, I've said this many times when you have been on the show, is that because I've read your book and I've been involved with some of the different things that you have, that you offer, and what I love about it is, number one, everything you do is quick and easy. You like it like that, and when you feel like you've got Ken sitting there right across from you. It's like, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
And you also have templates and all sorts of things that you offer to them so that they can get an idea of what working with you would be like. Am I right?
Exactly, and that's the point is, when you take the time to find a good coach, you've got to do your due diligence. I mean, the first is always just sort of a chemistry call, right? Let's just spend 15 minutes. We'll know pretty quick if there's, if it doesn't feel right, it's weird and awkward, we just go our separate ways. But if you dig into some of the material that I've created for you, you'll hear my voice and my philosophy, my cadence. So, years ago, I got a chemistry call with a guy, and we were just philosophically going to be really, really different, and it was not going to be a fit at all. He was one of those hard chargers. Employees should do exactly what he instructs them to do, and no more, and he doesn't really need to hear from them.
He wasn't coachable.
He wasn't, well, he had a philosophy, and he was gonna stick to it, and he didn't want coaching, he wanted something to validate his hard, whatever, nature. Well, we can't say that word.
Nature?
His hard-butted nature.
Well, I'll tell you what he thought everything he did was right.
Yeah, and
right?
He couldn't understand, and he couldn't he had no self-awareness. So he didn't understand his turnover problem was, he was an idiot, no one wanted to work with him. I mean, a genius man at business, but an idiot when it came to human beings and relationships.
There are people out there that are like that. They just don't have a clue.
And they have patterns, right? It's not like this thing just shows up one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess there's more than one marriage, and why don't the kids call me, and all of those patterns that pop up when we don't take the time to develop relationships. And that's an example of, I hope he found somebody that will help him. I'm not that person, I'm not that coach. And I say that because I want you to read through the material, I want you to use anything that helps you. And if, the tone or texture of what I'm putting out there doesn't resonate with you, or in fact irritates you, I'm not your coach.
That's okay, but you know what, the first thing is that you have to be open to hearing what somebody else has to say, and ideas that they have that will help you, right? The only way you're gonna know is by checking it out. That's
Right.
number one.
Yes.
And we want you to know that there is, when you go up onto the website, the Academy says that there's money involved, but if you call me, you're gonna get it for free, and I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. And you're gonna absolutely love that you did this. So it's makingthecut.biz. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. If you wanna grow your business fast, Ken is the one for you to talk to, and the whole point of this, when we are here talking about this, you're seeing everything that what he's talking about is free to use so that you can dive into it, right?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
You're gonna get something out of it the minute you go up onto the website.
Yeah.
Right?
When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other fun stuff that's fast.
So again, you can call in here and get this Academy for free from me, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Go up onto the website, which is makingthecut.biz. You're going to see the Academy there. That costs money, but if you call in here, you get it for free. 602-277-5369. The first one is so fast. And then we go on. That's why I love the hour, I really do.
Yeah.
More people do it,
Or
but
at least,
anyway.
gosh, a half. No one should buy less than half. Anyway, I digress. When we come back, we'll do some of the calculator. But where we can seg into what you and I are talking about off air is, you said Ken helps you grow any business fast. Let's talk about fast, please.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
Fast.
Yeah,
Well, it's not yet. It hasn't happened yet. It's been a whole month. Oh.
That's like me, okay, I'm like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, that's perfect. And what that means, okay. And it's different for everybody, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely.
Right?
You know, every business has some version of seasonality. That could be,
That's another word.
that could be monthly, or it could be, you know, speaking of accountants, our accountant that we know, well, there's the traditional busy tax season, and then you got a dead summer, and then you get the fall where all the business returns are now due, or we're finishing, we filed our extension, and now we're doing all that work. So, so there's just a lot of, so that's.
So here's the thing. So you know, that's what I was talking to you about, the tide goes in, then tide goes out, right? To me, that's the same kind of thing, seasonality, right?
Yeah.
So even though you know that, everybody knows it, and it comes every summer, we have a slow season, right? Oh, that's just the way it is here in Arizona. People need to work harder, or if you wanna call it smarter, but during that low period, you know, I think they need to be, you know, kind of sowing their, how do you say that? You know what I'm talking about? You have to do the work. You have to plow to get something.
You have to sow before you reap.
Exactly, right, there you go. So you do have to, don't you agree?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
no?
it just.
Well, cause you don't, that's okay if you don't agree with me, but
No,
just tell me what you.
I'm trying to answer.
Okay, go ahead, I'll be
Stop
quiet.
talking.
Okay.
I do, and it depends on the business. So sometimes so my business is, I'm not a spontaneous hire. No one's gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a go and pay them $2K a month. They just don't hire me like trying something from Amazon. You just don't do it that way.
Right.
So the seeds I plant are over years. Some businesses don't have that price point, so they're able to, they can sow in the summer.
And wait for it to grow.
Yeah, sow in the spring, and then they're harvesting in the fall.
Right.
They can, but the point is, you do have to adjust.
Well, okay.
But yeah, you do different work at different times.
That's right, that's what I agree with that.
Yes.
That's the way I am.
Yeah.
Perfect. So welcome back. I didn't say hi to everybody on Facebook, so you know what, I gotta say hi to everybody out there. And what's cool about this show is that you can go up onto Facebook and put in Networking Arizona and watch us in here doing the show live. It's really fun to do. So at the break, of course, we were talking, they don't realize this, but we were talking to Facebook land out there.
Yes.
And we were talking about, the first thing that you wanted to talk about was, we said how that your book is the 6 silver bullets to grow any business fast. And you said, let's talk about fast and what that means.
Yeah. And before we get to that, I also mentioned before we went to break, there are other tools, quick calculators, that are on the website. So going to the website is not just an assignment for reading. There is material there for you to read. The ebook, the academy, you get an e-coaching series through email. And there's some really quick and wonderful calculators, the profit equation calculators out there for one. That's worth you spending and playing a little bit.
Learning about you.
Tinkering with your numbers, see what has, small changes that are done consistently over time is what gives you the fast results. And that's why I want to mention the calculator in particular. So a lot of people think that they have to make these, you got to land a whale of a client, whatever that means for your business, and that's how you change. It's not. It's finding what those small changes are that helps you grow fast. People see that word fast, and they think, a month into coaching that we're going to see this tremendous change. We might, depending on how much action you take, but also you got to give it some time.
Just like anything else, you have to be patient.
You do. It's my mom used to tell us. She used to ask if we had, are you being impatient or is this a baby problem? Babies are 9 months. That's how long they take to gestate and finish. And assigning 9 women doesn't get you the baby in a month. So you always have to think through take a good hard look at your expectations, and are you giving something time to properly gestate? The other is the whole idea of minimum effective dose. I think all of us at one time or another have had to take an antibiotic for something or other. It's usually 7 to 10 days, and it's once in the morning and once in the evening. Well, can't I just take the whole bottle now and knock the whole thing out? Not how it works. Not how it works. Business doesn't work that either. It's small, consistent changes over time, and then we use that profit equation calculator again and look at those those amazing changes, and those have really tremendous impact on the bottom line.
You also have to finish it. You have to go through and finish that bottle of, you know
Yes.
what I mean? You can't just take a couple of them and think, oh, this doesn't work.
Or
That's my daughter.
I'm feeling better. It's 3 days. I'm feeling better.
I'm
Must
done.
Be good.
Must be gone.
And then they stop, and then 2 months later they feel like absolute junk.
Right.
And the doctor said, "What did you?" It says right on the bottle, "Do not stop taking unless your doctor says so."
Right, and everybody, I mean, I know everybody, we do that all the time, a lot of people do it. But you know, the thing is you're gonna absolutely love going up onto the website and checking this out, because there are things for you to actually, everything there is like almost a hands-on
Yeah.
approach of being able to see, how does Ken think, how does Ken work, right?
Right.
And it's all through you, because he's helping you.
Yeah, it's a hands-on approach because most business owners take a hands-on approach. It's why they started their business. And the paradox is, if they want to grow it more than it is right now, bigger than it is right now, different than it is right now, they gotta get their hands off of it, right? Somebody else, they need to have some
Another
place-
set of eyes.
No. They need to have some place, people need to be able to, they become the, sorry.
Sorry. That's messed it up.
No, they have become the obstacle, right? All roads lead through them. And that's how they start the business. But eventually what happens is all roads lead through them, and they can't handle that many employees asking them questions all day, because they're the only place to get the information. So some of the first things we do is we want to make sure we get all that genius out of their brain and somewhere other people can find it in documented processes. And that includes.
So you're not interrupted.
Yeah, that includes like core values. What are the core values? Well, the owner always knows them. Does everyone know them? You know, if they're not out there and published, then how do we hire that way? How do we lead the team that way?
Well, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the Academy for free from me. You're gonna get a lot. You got the book, that 6 silver bullets to grow any business fast. It takes 23 minutes to read the book, right? And also, you're gonna get emails from him, and I love when those little emails. You also have something else that's been coming through that I've been getting through my email and my text as well, of other things for people to always think about. They're just things to think about, right? And if you know coaches in any way, they always have something to say that is just the perfect thing for that scenario that you might be going through.
Sure.
You know? And so there's a lot up there that you're gonna get. You're gonna see the Academy, there is a cost, but not if you call me. So our number here is 602-277-5369. Call in here and you're gonna get all of this for free from me and from Ken, because he's doing it on the show. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and the website is makingthecut.biz. Fast, I have to go back to fast, because we did talk about how fast means something different to every single person. Some
Sure.
people want it like today, right? And they need it. That's
Yeah.
another thing. What do people do when they talk about fast and they're saying, Ken, I need the money fast. I
Right.
need it here today.
Well, what we all have to get grounded in is, you know, what got you here will get you there. So if you happen to be in a business that's been slowing down, you have a trend over, you know, a couple of years where you're very obviously contracting, is the nice way to say slowdown. Then doing the exact same thing is not going to get you an increase.
Right, that's what we were talking about
That's
earlier
what we were
today.
talking about earlier today. And I referenced, and I don't remember which of his books, but it's Coach Tony Dungy. It's when he took over the Colts. The Colts were a losing team when he took them over. And he began teaching them and coaching them in a different way. They began playing in a different way, and they began winning. And then they got themselves to a playoff game, and they choked because they went back to their old way. And when he said, "What are you doing? Why did you do that?" Well, we didn't want to have such a risky move of the new at a playoff game. That was just, why would you do that? And he said, but the old way was what kept making you lose, and now we lost again. It's a almost a human condition, right? We start to win and it feels scary that we're winning because that's different. And and now we revert back to some old habit that doesn't even serve us anymore. And I see that in early in the work with clients often, is they're really defending the way they've been doing things, even though the way they've been doing things is slowing things down.
The other thing that I think too is that if he was afraid to let them do the new thing that was making them win, okay, then he didn't have faith in his players, okay, to do what they were taught to do, or he didn't feel like he taught them well enough. Because if they taught them well enough, in my opinion, they would have been able to play the new way and win the game. Does that make sense?
No, I'm not tracking at all. He
Okay.
did have faith in them. They played differently anyway. They didn't listen to him.
Oh, so they're the ones that made that decision
The
to not.
players changed their way. The
Well,
coach was coaching them to coach.
Well, they're not coachable.
They're coachable, they're humans, they're scared. They got scared. They got scared they'd lose if they tried this new thing.
So this is the problem, is that we talked about that too,
Yeah.
how that fear is the underlying issue of almost everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're below the line, if you're underneath fear, you will self-sabotage. If you stay above fear, you will not. You will stay in the new, in the way that's working. You'll stick to those small changes consistently. Yeah, the Dungy metaphor is Dungy's coaching them to success and they're ignoring it. Like they followed it.
You know,
they
I
were
thought
finding
it was
success.
him, I was saying
no.
wrong.
No.
But so now that you say that, it's like, okay, well, he must have been pissed, you know, when you think about it. Right?
Well, that's always in my line of work, the most
Frustrating
part is working with people with such tremendous potential, huge potential, proven ability, a track record of results that just happen to be in a little bit of a rut. And then watching them start to find the success and they get scared and revert back, right? That's the scary part.
It's a scary part for anybody, right?
It's human.
But having a coach will help you guide you through that,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, part of what we coaches do is we have many clients in many businesses, and we're able to not only pollinate good ideas, but I'm able to help every client understand they are not alone. They are not the first person to ever feel this way. They won't be the last. They're far more normal than they realize. They're not the only one to struggle. They're not the only one to worry about a payroll. They're not the only one to worry about turnover. They're not the only one.
If you own a business, if you are a manager of a leadership position, go up onto this website, you're gonna absolutely love it. It's makingthecut.biz. Call in here and get the academy free from me. You're gonna love it that you did it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Still live, okay.
Checking to see if I got that date.
So, when we come back, do you wanna stick with where we're at, or kind of, go into anything else before?
We can just continue.
Continue,
to develop.
okay.
Mhm.
Because I think that, this is what we didn't talk, well, we can talk about this here, the shift if it doesn't work, right? They need to, should they shift or no?
It depends. That's the hardest part.
That's
of
the hardest,
business.
everything depends.
Everything
Don't you
depends.
hate that when people say that to you all the time? And then they'll say, well, it depends, right?
Like, give me the scenario. Should I shift? Well, if your business has been crap for 4 years, shift.
Yes.
Yes. If you're on your 7th quit, I can't get anyone to stay. Shift.
Talk about sales for a second,
Okay.
Talk about, cause it used to be years ago, you make 10 calls, the 11th one, you get a sale, whatever it is. It's not like that anymore. It's very all over the board, I feel. So I'm like for sales for your, and what does somebody do in that position that consistently does what they have to do, but just there's some days are like that, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, in sales, it's, I don't fire my salesperson because they didn't have a good week, or even month, or even a quarter. It's just not enough time. But I understand sales.
Right.
So if that's the it depends part. I get sales. A quarter is not enough time to know somebody's really good at sales.
So that's the point, that's another good thing to bring up, because a lot of people, when you hire somebody that's a salesperson, if they're not doing what you think they should be doing, right away, what do? They get rid of them, and they try and find somebody else. But they might have already had a really good salesperson there, and they didn't even realize it, because they didn't give him the time he needed. Is that
Right.
correct?
Well, and you go upstream a little bit. Did you hire somebody that's aligned culturally? Do they share your core values?
And when you talk about that a lot, and a lot of people today, I think, are realizing that the core values have to be in there first.
That's your
Okay.
ticket to the dance. Yeah.
What did you just say?
That's your ticket to the dance.
Ticket to the dance. You know what? I love what you just said there, because that's pretty cool. But the people that are the older generation don't understand that they need the culture first. Do you not agree?
I'm not sure. I don't know that I've
Or does it
observed.
depend?
Well, that still feels like core values. That sounds like
So everybody
that sounds
has
like
core
a baby
values.
Boomer. That sounds like a baby boomer confusing their core values for the company core values. Two different things. So
They don't bring their own core values into it?
they do, but that's the ticket to the dance. Is I don't give a darn what your core values are. I care, can you support mine at work?
And so work has to be different than well,
It could be the same, but the point is, can you support them? I don't care what yours are. If your core values are, I work 80 hours a week, well, I think you're stupid for doing that, but that's not my company's core values. So I don't want you, because if you, a boomer, say that to young people, they will quit on me.
right, exactly.
And you're not aligned with my company values. Those are yours, not mine.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, and I think that's really hard for these people who are, you wanna call them baby boomers. They're the people that are owning these businesses that can hire these people, but they can't hire them because, like I said, they don't match up in the core values.
Yeah, but you gotta, yeah.
They need to
I mean, if you
learn.
want somebody that's gonna do the kind of and the work ethic thing gets real squishy real fast. Boomers in particular are really, really difficult at this point because they're so disconnected from all the other generations when it comes to because they think it's work ethic. I think they're ineffective. I had a boomer and an ex that worked for me. The boomer worked 70 hours a week. The ex worked 35. 35 got more done, more revenue.
It's not how
Facts.
long, it's how well.
It's, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Average appointment on one was 75 minutes, the other was 40.
that's amazing.
Client outcomes, which we could measure better with the guy who worked less hours.
Do you find that on the calculator, though, can you find that
That's
on?
not on the
No,
calculator.
no, okay.
No, that's not on there.
Okay, that's okay. I wanna talk about that.
Okay, values.
You said, let's keep on going, okay. So welcome back. We have our lines open here for everyone to call in here and get the Academy from Ken, and we're getting it for free by calling me. Because when you go up onto the website, makingthecut.biz, everything you see there is free except the Academy says there's a cost. Not if you call me. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free is 1-866-536-1100. Go up onto the website, makingthecut.biz. You're gonna love it. There's all of that stuff that you get there is gonna help you, not only help you grow by doing it, you're also gonna see how, Ken looks at things, right? And as you're doing it, we also should say this, you can call, text, you can do whatever you want to try and get in touch with Ken and have that, like it's a 15-minute just,
I call it a meet and greet. I refer
Discovery.
to it as a chemistry call.
Okay,
Not
chemistry.
discovery, that's like a longer thing, but
Okay.
it's just a chemistry call. Let's chat for 15 and see if we click.
Yeah, and so you can do that at any point. And also another thing I should also say about all of that you get, you do not have to do it in any order. You do it the way you want to do it, what you resonate with, and you do it at your pace. That's the other thing.
Choose your own adventure.
And our lines are open here, 602-277-5369. Get this Academy, you're gonna absolutely love it. And at the break, we kept on talking a little bit more about people,
People,
And-
people part of the equation.
right, and also core values. And I loved when we started talking about like the baby boomers and their core values are different and they don't generally click with the
Yeah.
younger generation.
Let's
But
back
what did
way
you
up.
say?
Let's get specific, because core value, it'll get murky quick, because I refer to core values. I mean core values of your company,
Mm-hmm.
business owner. Your company, whether you've articulated or not, has core values that you operate from. That's how you lead. Those are the clients you choose to work with, share your values, and the people you hire need to share those values and commit to demonstrating those values while they're at work. And what Carol brought up was, she was talking about generational values, and where we start to see friction. So the consequence, what I see in mishires, is we hire somebody that's really talented. They're just, for example, a fantastic salesperson, worth their weight in gold. A really great salesperson always pays for themselves. We all know this. We've all hired her. We know that she absolutely, doesn't matter what we pay her, we're gonna get 5x, 10x that amount of money back in our sales. They're gold. And if they don't, so if we hire that skill and we didn't test for core values, there's gonna be friction likely, because there's a friction mismatch of they don't have the same values as the other people working there, because you didn't hire for your company values. So I have a real life example. One of my clients hired a guy that he's just phenomenal at marketing. Amazing resume. The resume was just gold. And within 3 months, I think the guy had pissed off just about everybody in the company. Just everybody.
That's the worst.
Furious with him.
You could be really good at what you do and be hated.
And it was a value thing. So we went through the exercise of, you need to have a core values conversation with him. And the one that rubbed him the wrong way was, this company believed that the employees were a family in and of themselves. And they committed to each other in that realm. And he said, and I somewhat quote, clean it up for the radio, well, that's BS. This is not my family. I have one of those. You are not family to me. This is my job. That's a core values mismatch, right? He saw it as transactional. The rest of the team were very invested in one another personally and professionally, and that's how they chose to run the company. They parted ways that day. There were the clouds parted, the sunshine came through. There was a rainbow and unicorns with soft serve. It was wonderful. The next time they hired the person that didn't have as much skill on the resume, but was a complete core values match, and they're still at the company 5 years later.
Mm-hmm. And that's
very
important.
successful, and it's important. You were referring, this is important too, the generational differences.
Yeah.
So, what I've shared with you is, baby boomers, for example, will often share with me that what they describe as work ethic is really, they're just clocking hours. It's FaceTime. It's what Gen X and the millennials would call FaceTime. You're at your desk. It doesn't mean you're doing anything. You're just there. That's like the sort of tongue in cheek. The boomers are just going to sit there, and one day will peel their face off the keyboard, and that's retirement. But what I shared with you is, I had 2 people on my team. One was a boomer, one was Gen X, and one gentleman worked 70 hours a week, and the other 35 a week. 35 a week produced far more revenue than 70. But 70 thought he was framed himself as the harder worker. He wasn't. He was a dumber worker, but not a harder worker. Dumb in the sense of ineffectiveness. He loved it. He was happier, and he told us his wife loved how much he worked. She was out of his hair. He was out of her hair all day. Right? He left at 6 in the morning. She could see him till 7 in the evening. She was happy as could be. That works for him, but that's not a core value at the company, right? Putting in hours is not a core value. Quality, core value. Integrity, honesty, kindness, clarity. There's all sorts of and I have that information on my website. There's some things that I think, but you have to be able to articulate your 3 to 5 core values, what they mean in your company, and how you're going to interview for that.
And if you don't have any, because I think everybody does, but they don't know what they are.
Yes, you're saying exactly right. They're there, they're just articulated. Nobody ever just wrote them down, these 4 things, these
Right.
3 things.
And how important is that, when you work with somebody, I'm gonna just say, you probably sit down with them and the first thing you might ask them is, what's your core values?
Yeah, it's early.
And how many people say, well, I don't know, or they say integrity, all of what me as a baby boomer would say, right?
Sure. Well, it's just like we do on break. The conversation is exactly what we have on break every single time, Carol. I'll say, what are your core values? And you'll say, I don't know. And I'll say, well, what do you think is important? And you'll say integrity. And I'll say, great, tell me a short story about integrity at work. What does that look like? How would you know if somebody had it? We might say the catchphrases. It's what you do when no one's doing the right thing when no one's looking, whatever that thing is. But then you're going to have a real story of, well, this and this and this happened, and this happened, and right, I overpaid a vendor I never would have known it. They called me and said, Carol, what the heck are you doing? You overpaid me. Again, stop doing that. That's integrity. If you tell a little story, that's how we get to it. Everyone has it if we just have a conversation.
And the other thing, though, I wanna bring out, though, your integrity for you is gonna be different for somebody else too.
They're going to define, right. 2 companies can use the same words, and
if they mean something different.
It means something different, sort of like I purposely use that client as an example because they say family and they mean it a very specific way, and they know exactly how to interview around it. They know exactly what that looks like.
When you do that, so I love the way you just did that here, and you're kind of asking them questions to get them to think what they are, because they may not have written them down, and they may not have realized, like you said, that they even have them. And now you start to listen to them, and yet, do you kind of maybe help them expand on that a little bit so that they can have both? Because you also have to have, I think, especially in business, several types of people, not all the same type of people.
Oh, no, you don't want
because that's also not good. But to have everybody the same.
Cookie cutter, nobody, you can't even do that. It's not even possible. That doesn't.
Well, you'd like to have different types of people, women, men. I'm just saying that because people resonate with different people.
Well, you're going to diversity now, not values, although that could be a value. And diversity, you could have 6 women of the exact same age who are all white, and they can think 100% different, every single one of them. They could have been raised all around the world, but they happen to have the same ethnicity. So there's diversity of thought, there's diversity of appearance, diversity of age, lots of ways to be diverse, different profile and styles. So sometimes I think we get hung up that diverse is a look rather than there's lots of ways to be diverse. But back to the values, the way we start values conversations is, and it works, you've got to have some employees like, hey, who's the easiest employee here? Like who's the banner? Like you send them out with the company logo on it and say, clone this person, she's perfect. Great. Let's talk about what she does and why that's perfect. What does that look like, feel like, sound like? What does that look like in work product? And when we start to unpack that perfect employee we want to clone, then we get to the core values pretty quick because they're demonstrating them.
Now, as you listen to Ken talk, don't you feel like, wow, yeah, you just always have a way of putting things that make just so much sense. That's why you do what you do. And I want you to say, too, that you don't necessarily tell people what to do. Not at all. As a matter of fact, not at all.
I tell them what they are doing. Right?
And that you've explained it.
I don't tell them how to play the game. I tell them how they are playing the game.
Right. And so, like in golf, if you are swinging, you might say, you need to change the way your arm or elbow is, and that, I listen.
You do.
No, but honestly, this is what I love, is that makes you think about making those little small changes that make such big impact. Call in here and get that academy for free, 602-277-5369, and check them out. It's makingthecut.biz. You're gonna love it. Me too. Are you dry?
A little bit.
The question, though, after going back, I wrote this down, dumb working, and working smart. not working harder, working smarter, right?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to a client earlier this morning. And this is, it's not just generations, but,
Mostly, you can say it in front of me, it's okay.
no, I'm forming the thought. I wanna make the point correctly. It's, some people, so I've had boomers work for me, they just like taking a long time to do stuff. So I don't think that's efficient, but they perceive my efficiency, so those two guys I told you about, 70-hour guy thinks 35-hour guy is always in a hurry. He doesn't wanna be in a hurry. Just take his time. Okay. I mean, I don't pay him any differently. They're salaried.
Some people are very detailed oriented though.
No, that's a,
Different?
that's a
That's a
throwaway.
cop-out?
That's a cop-out.
Okay.
Yeah, 70-hour guy missed so much. 35-hour guy missed nothing, ever. Yeah, that whole thing of 70 hours is the harder worker.
So maybe he's just taking
It's just
his
an
time.
excuse. He's just slow. So what? He takes longer to do everything. His client appointments went 75 minutes. He's not serving them any better.
So what's better, what do you do with that? Let's say you have two people.
I just let him know, hey, 70 guy, you're not the better, you don't get a higher rating, you're not getting a bigger raise.
Just because you're here
Just
long.
because you're here.
Mhm.
And it takes you 70 hours to do a 40-hour job. I don't care. Hey,
That's your problem.
hey guy two, it takes you 35 hours to do a 40-hour job. Don't care. In both cases, they had books of clients that they served. Clients loved them both. They got,
Right.
They got net promoter scores high on both. We measured client outcomes because it was financial planning, so we had all the data. Clients were served very well by these guys. Let them.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing is let them. Because you can't believe it. Most people like me will say, how could you do it in that short a time, right? You couldn't have done it right.
You must be missing something.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not missing a thing.
Hmm. And so you
But
say
to your
let them.
point, clients that like 70 guy probably don't like 35 guy. He goes too quick for him.
Right, I
He
get
rushes
it.
him.
You could, like the same, like we were
Yeah.
just saying, he's saying that guy's, there's something wrong if he's getting it done that
Yeah.
fast. Welcome back. We're talking with Ken Kilday, and he's an executive business coach. We talked about being a professional certified coach, which makes him different. And we are talking about his academy that he has offered for free. You love doing that for people and letting them
They
get
need
an
to,
idea.
They need to digest the information first. They need to move at their own pace. And pace is what we were just talking about with our examples of
Mhm.
employees.
Mhm.
And you were talking about diversity, and one way to be diverse is people work at a different pace, and that's okay.
And what did you say? You said let them.
Let them, right? The lesson, in my example of I had two gentlemen working in my branch, and one worked 70 hours a week and the other 35. And I'm fine if 70 wants to take that long to do his 40-hour job, that's okay, but he doesn't get any awards for it, right? He's not a better worker because he took long, and you fell into my favorite trap of, well, is he detail-oriented? No, he's actually.
I said it right off the bat, you know.
He must be detailed. That other guy must be missing something. The other guy's missing nothing. But to your point, clients that maybe resonate with the guy that gets stuff done in a really orderly, time-constrained way, 35 guy, they may not want to work with the other guy. That other guy may seem like he takes way too long to do everything, and vice versa, right?
And probably the other guy who does the 70-hour work week is kind of jealous of the other guy because he's doing it too fast, and he thinks, how could he be doing it too fast? He must be missing, like you said,
Yeah.
he's not missing anything. It's amazing.
Yeah,
But I
he's
think,
taking shortcuts. He's
but
not taking
that's
shortcuts.
also, the owner might be saying that and doesn't like the fact, doesn't understand until he sees the bottom line, the data, exactly.
And like I said, we were a data-rich environment, so we knew the clients were being well served. So we knew the clients were perceiving good service, right? They were high net promoter scores. we knew, because we measured their financial plans and outcomes, we knew they were getting, their well-being was well served by both. They just had completely different styles, right? One was the highly organized detail guy, his 35 guy.
If you didn't realize it,
Yeah,
but yes.
it was that level of attention to detail, everything was prepared. He didn't take an hour to prepare for a meeting, he took 20 minutes to prepare for a meeting and missed nothing. People work differently, and that's okay, that's part of the diversity of letting people work their own way. They were salaried, so it wasn't any difference to the company.
I also have to say this because we do it every time, and I don't wanna forget to do it this time if we've
Okay.
done it every time. So, I'm not sure to change, right?
Right.
So, one of the things that we've talked about is the kind of businesses that you work with, and I want people to know that you could be a solopreneur, right? We've said it so many times, like me, or you can have a business with employees and all of that. It doesn't really
Employees.
matter.
It doesn't, the principles are the same, business principles are the same. When you're on my website, you'll see two things in no particular order. One thing that you may notice is I work with a pretty diverse group of companies. The other thing you may notice is there's a lot of material and blogging and insight around one of the niches that I work in that developed organically, and that's the dental industry. So it doesn't mean that I don't work with people who are not dentists, it just
Right.
means that it bubbles up.
Sometimes
it
that happens.
So we ran with it, and there's a lot to learn from their specific industry.
But business is business, and
Business
it's.
is business, you gotta operate the business, you got money, you got marketing.
Mhm.
I mean, and there's lots of people everywhere.
It doesn't matter what
Doesn't
kind of
matter.
business.
Customers are people, employees are people, owners are people.
And so if you're a people person, which,